There we go. Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is part 2 of the Burnt Man, case file 28 of our Hudson and Brand campaign. Of course, they started on case file 24, so it's not they've done 27 cases previously. This is your 5th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 o'clock in the morning-ish, a little after by now, after Lady Ursula, little Miss Ursula, had her nightmare. She will be sleeping with her mother for the rest of the night. And anything, Oscar will definitely turn back in. I will be trying to take care of Oscar in Mark's absence today. But he likes to sleep, so he'll go back to bed pretty quickly after the girls settled and people start going back to their normal middle of the night business. Everybody else going straight back to bed? Anything else you want to do before, or?
I need my beauty sleep.
Ruben's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Ruben is staying in town.
Entertaining.
Like I said, after checking it out, everything, and make sure the child is going to be staying with mother, just trying to get some good night's sleep until the morning.
Okay, very good.
I want to try to, after everybody else goes back to bed,
Sure.
I want to go to the room and then go into that other, what is it, the learning room or?
Wait, so pull up the map again too.
The room
So Ursula's room is room 19 there. And beside that, attached to it, is the schoolroom. Yes, and there's the door that connects the two rooms. There is no outer door that leads into the schoolroom. It can only be accessed through Ursula's bedroom.
Okay, I want to check her bedroom and check that room for a kind of hidden passage, possibly. I don't know how well I can do on that, but
Give me a spot hidden roll as you're searching her bedroom.
let me look up and see what my spot hidden is. So I thought it was going to be, but let's see. Spot hidden. I got a 51. So let's see if I can roll here.
Sorry, Jen. I'm just going to mute you. Clickety clack goes the keyboard.
D100. Yeah. Okay. No. I can't even see my nose in front of my face. I rolled a 5. Or
You
is
rolled
that
a 5. Nice. You rolled a not 5, yeah?
Yeah. Yes.
Good stuff. Yeah, you don't find anything secret in her room. It's a girl's bedroom. And you go into the schoolroom, and since you rolled so well, I'll carry that over to there too. So in the schoolroom, which is where she receives her private tutoring from Josephine, her expensive French nanny. There's 6 low desks, many of which are gouged with graffiti by bored Allingham students of the past. There's a large globe sitting on the desk at the front of the room before a blackboard, which is supported on an easel. You find a large collection of textbooks in a glass-fronted cabinet to one side of the room, and windows in the other wall overlook the family cemetery and the lonely expanse of the moors, which is visible beyond the small cluster of tombstones. But you do not find any hidden compartments. Nothing. None of the floorboards are loose and come up or anything of that sort. The windows are closed and locked.
Okay, then I will head to the bed I had in Dorn's room and try to be quiet and sneak into bed.
Yes, as I recall correctly, the northwest guest room, which is the largest, is where you and Zorn are sharing accommodation. The northeast corner, which is the largest of the remaining guest rooms, is where Mrs. Morrow is staying. And then we've got Oscar and Ruben in the other 2 individual rooms next door to Mrs. Morrow's room. And also next to the master bedroom. I think that was Oscar's room, was it? That has the connecting door to the master bedroom?
Ruben.
Was that Ruben's room, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Ruben was there.
Okay, cool. Couldn't remember who was there. Okay. So you return to your room, go to bed then, yes, Oscar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Gerard.
Oh, Gerard. Yeah. Duh. Sorry, man. Why can't anybody get your names right, Rob? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Is that your real name? It's your character name.
They say you
All
can
right.
call me when you want to, but don't call me late for dinner. So.
Mm-hmm. So, I would like. What the fuck, cat? Holy shit! Hold on. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that tornado running through the room. I need to find the proper page here now. Yes, I would like listen checks from the three of you, or four of you. Sorry, no, three of you, because yeah, Ruben is not here. However, I
He
would
might hear stuff where he is.
I would like penalty dice with that roll for everyone except for Gerard, who hasn't been back to bed all that long.
And I'm sorry, which skill were we?
Listen. And you need dice for this game, right?
You kind of
Yes,
do.
Joe.
Yeah.
We go through this every time.
Yeah. I keep forgetting this is that type of game.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Dice.
I did not succeed.
How about no?
Okay. And how did you do, Gerard?
Lousy. I missed.
All right, fair enough. Okay, cool. Okay, so night passes, morning comes, and you're all dead. Your throats were slit in the middle of the night by thieves, gypsy thieves.
Awesome.
And yeah, so
Okay, I got shit to do.
Damn.
no, I joke. Yeah, so you wake up in the morning as the household is bustling once again. The servants are bustling about getting things ready. Ursula has been returned to her room where she's getting dressed and preparing for her lessons. Well, perhaps what day of the week is it anyway? I forget. Let me pull up my. Let's see. This is still 1890 with you guys, right? Yeah, 1890 calendar. This is the morning of December 19th, anyway, and that is December 19th, a Friday. Yep, she's got lessons. It's Friday morning.
I have a question.
So,
Go for it, Rob.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Do I know when the winter solstice takes place this year?
The winter solstice is always on the 21st.
it's the 20th or the 21st, depending.
Okay. I knew it was somewhere around 19 or 20. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Let me see.
December 21st, 1890.
Yep, there you go.
Sunday.
Okay.
You beat me
Just
to it.
had a wild idea, and I just wanted to see what was going on.
Okay. You were going to say something, I believe, Mrs. Morrow.
Just that she comes downstairs and is mystified as to where Ruben is.
Okay, yeah. The house is kind of a buzz, especially in the dining room, where when you go down there, you see the all of the chairs are like kind of turned over and laying down up against the table in
Good
a weird
heavens.
manner, and the servants are bustling about trying to figure out what happened. Howard, wasn't it? Howard.
I think it was Howard.
Howard, the butler, is just livid, and he's convinced that thieves must have busted into the house in the middle of the night, and he is basically ordering everybody to check all the windows and check all the doors and check the silver and make sure the tapestries are in place, etc., etc.
Tapestries.
I was just thinking that.
You are weird people. So
So Mrs. Morrow will inquire as to whether or not the young lady is if she is well, if there were any further disturbances in the night.
Yeah, so Lady Amanda will come, will be there. You can speak to her. And she'll say, no, Ursula was able to sleep the rest of the night without any issue.
Oh, wonderful.
But how do you explain this?
I'm not certain. Is Von Zorn coming down or Gerard for breakfast? No? Okay.
I'm getting dressed, getting a good
You're getting
shower.
there.
I'm getting
Okay.
dressed, a shower,
A shower?
or a bath or
A
whatever.
bath, maybe, yeah.
A little whore's bath, and
Whoa.
Oof, wow.
and I'm getting prepared, like putting my leather vest on. It's in leather.
I got it. You're being that guy at the LARP who takes forever to get ready. I understand.
I was actually hoping for a montage, you know.
So I'm down here by myself. Okay, that's fine. So how would I explain this? Well, I mean, if we want to go for the supernatural explanation, there's of course that, but it could also be someone who is in the house playing a bit of a prank, or perhaps seeing some benefit to encouraging us to believe that there are spirits about.
Mrs. Morrow, you sound very much like Mr. Bennett over here.
Hmm.
If at least a bit more polite.
I am trying to not eliminate any possibility. I'm trying to keep an open mind at this point.
I think he's angry. I think he's
Do you?
upset that there are strangers dining in his home.
Well, we were invited.
Yes, but not by him.
True. Do you think there's anything that we could do to placate him?
No, I think the best thing to do would be to carry on. I think if we're able to discover who was responsible for his death, that may be the best way to set his spirit at rest.
Indeed. Well, that is what we are here for, and we shall endeavor to do so.
Montage! Well. It's time for a montage!
You see a half-naked Wilhelm pull lederhosen out of his luggage, shrug his shoulders, and put it back in.
Checking the weapons. Yeah, I should be coming down to dinner now.
Breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Herr Von Zorn, good to see you.
Yeah, good doing. Was there some furniture rearrangement in the middle of the night? What is this?
It seems that yes, some furniture was found in disarray this morning. Whether due to mortal or supernatural mischief, we have yet to determine.
So, how much furniture actually was moved? Ian?
Just all of the dining room chairs.
Just chairs. How many?
They're basically just turned upside down, rested on their heads, and leaned up against the table.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think.
How many chairs? All of them. I don't know how many.
However many there are.
Yeah. Well,
all of them.
This is definitely poltergeist activity, but there's no proof. Have you checked the doors for any forced entry?
Well, yes, the Howard is leading that search now with Mackenzie and Gerald, the gardener.
Well, I would think this. It's if you found no forced entry, then it was someone inside this house or a ghost. And if it's a person, the person did not mean harm because, well, this isn't harmful. And if it's a ghost, or the poltergeist, there's nothing we could do about it anyway right now.
I take it you've come down too, Gerard?
Yeah, but I'm going to go into the kitchen because I'm a servant.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
that's right.
I'll go in there and eat with them, and maybe I can find out more information too. Since I'm
Yeah,
One of the
nobody's eating in
folks-
there yet because they're too busy doing stuff around the house trying to figure out if there was any intrusion. So it's gonna be a late breakfast for everyone. But in the dining room, I guess sitting around the table, poor Gerard, you find yourself in the kitchen alone at the moment. Well, maybe with the cook.
Aren't we missing someone? Aren't we missing?
Yes, Ruben. Apparently, well, I don't know. I don't know if he was going into town, wasn't he?
Good
Yes,
man.
he went into town with Gerard, didn't he? Oscar will say.
Yes.
Yes, that was my understanding.
Is Gerard here?
Gerard is there. Oh no, Gerard's in the kitchen. Gerard's in the kitchen. Sorry.
Well,
He was
actually,
here last night. Wasn't he staying with you?
Yeah, you share a room with him. You know he's.
Yeah, I would assume that I woke up after he did. He was here, I'm pretty sure. Let me ask Gerard.
You saw him last night when the girl had the nightmare.
Right, but that was after. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Gerard was here. Let me ask Gerard, does he know where Ruben is?
Okay. Sorry, Jen, your typing is really, really loud for some reason.
That is bizarre because I do podcasting and normally it doesn't pick it up at all.
Are you wearing a headset?
I am wearing a headset.
I think your headset microphone may not be active. You might have to check on your Google Hangout settings.
Oh.
You may have to switch. That's what I had to do earlier as well. Because
I apologize for that. I don't know why that happened.
I'm just letting you know.
Thank you very
No
much.
problem. So you go into the kitchen, Wilhelm, and you'll find Gerard sitting there. The cook is, I suppose, Gerard, you might have tried talking to the cook a little bit. She's very busy. She's just kind of nodding and, oh, that's very interesting. You know, that kind of stuff.
Gerard, do you know where Carmichael is?
I stand up immediately when I see Zorn, and I say, "Good morning, sir."
I look at him strange. Like you're trying to take the mickey out of me, but that's okay.
Mr. Rubin, he got tied up with some business in town, and he said he'd be in later.
Later tonight or when?
He didn't privilege me with that information.
I mean, what was it? Was he going to speak to a contact or something like that? We haven't seen him all night, from what I understand.
Let's take a walk out here for a minute. Let's see if we see a carriage. Maybe he's came back.
Ruben.
Yes.
When are you coming back to Bargrove Hall?
As soon as his morning business is done, and
Okay.
then heading that way. I'm assuming if it's light, he's on his way.
Walking?
If it's not too far, yeah.
How far is it? This is a problem I have with this scenario. The map is not accurate with its scale, I don't think. And I remember seeing it somewhere before. I think, it was like the village, I think, is about a 30-minute walk.
Yeah, it's a brisk walk. It's good.
Where was the bit here about Bargrove? Yeah, I seem to recall reading somewhere it was about a 30-minute. That does seem rather long, though.
There's something like that you told us last week. There's a bit of a distance.
Yeah. We'll call it. Let me go to the other map there. See that map? According to that map, if you look at that scale in miles, it's like half a mile. But I think it's actually further than that because also according to that scale in miles, it's only a few miles to Princetown, and it took you 20 minutes carriage to ride from Princetown to Bargrove Hall.
Right? Something like that.
So maybe that's right. That could be accurate, I suppose. Anyway, whatever. We'll say take you about a half-hour walk.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I suppose you could be probably arriving right around this time when everybody's discussing your whereabouts.
Sounds perfect.
That said, so weather-wise,
Well, yeah, it's raining.
it's no, well, actually, it might be. Let me see here. It is morning times. Yeah, it's cold and foggy. It's not raining, but it's cold and foggy. Actually, go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Luck roll it is. I got a 51, and my current luck is a 57.
Okay, so yeah, it is not raining or anything. Just cold and foggy.
Well, he will enter the building and collect himself, perhaps get some coffee.
Okay. Entering the building through the main doors.
Of course.
Okay. Sure. You just let yourself in, walk in. When Howard will come walking up quickly, seeing you walking in the door to find out who the hell is just helping them, letting themselves in, and then see it's you and say, Master Carmichael. I'm sorry, did I know you had gone outside?
Yes, sir. Getting a bit of fresh air, ready for some coffee if it's available.
Yes. We'll be serving in the dining room shortly. Please make yourself comfortable. The rest of your companions are there.
Thank you very much. And he will do so.
And then he'll walk into the kitchen and bark at the cook to get the coffee ready. And she'll say, well, the rest of you've got all the other servants out checking doors and windows. She says, I don't have anyone here. I can't do everything myself. You're going to have to help me. And so they bark back and forth at each other. And, yeah.
Okay.
Master Carmichael wants coffee, he says. And so he goes and starts helping the cook.
Okay, then. As soon as I see Carmichael walk in.
Well, you were in the kitchen, so you would have heard this discussion with the cook and the butler. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I go into the dining room and see if I can find.
So when you walk into the dining room, Reuben, you would see, I guess, Lady Allingham, and by now Ursula and Josephine, I guess, would be there, and Mrs. Morrow and Oscar Bennett are there, and that's it at the moment. Of course, Von Dorn will be walking in shortly from the kitchen, but. So, Ms. Morrow, you would see Reuben walk in.
He will nod his morning greetings. Ladies?
So, I'm glad to see you okay. Were you successful? Did you find out anything new in the village?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I just took a quick walk this morning. I've just now returned. But yes, it was an entertaining evening.
From what we understand, you weren't here.
Well, clearly I am here.
Okay. If you say so. But anyway, I am going to leave you now. I'm going to head to the Hobbs Field and do some investigation work there.
Very good. Are you taking anyone with you?
Are you not going to stay for breakfast, Mr. Von Zorn? Amanda will say.
I've got a piece of toast and some coffee. That's all I need.
Oh, very well. Well, James will probably be if he's not outside, he will be in the kitchen. He should be able to get the horse ready for you.
I expect the horse to be ready.
James. She would call him Mackenzie.
Well, I expect the horse to be ready already, but I can saddle the horse just fine myself.
Okay. Sorry, Jen, we do not hear you at all. Maybe my advice was poor about your settings. She has dropped out of the chat. Maybe she'll be back momentarily. I think we'll wait for her for a moment.
To answer your question, Ruben, from what I understand, everyone else had their own assignments.
Indeed.
So there was no one left. I believe Mrs. Carmichael was going to the village with you. Oscar was going with
Mrs. Morrow.
Mrs. Morrow. Sorry.
Soon to be Mrs. Carmichael.
I'm glad. I am glad Jen was not here to hear that. Fortunate me. And I understand Oscar and Gerard was going to check the police, I believe.
Very good.
So, and it's only less than a mile away. So I'll be with horse, well armed, and I should be okay.
Where are you going again? Sorry,
Hobbsfield.
Okay. Is it less than a mile away? Yeah.
According to the scale here, legend here.
Yeah, I think it's a little off, but yeah, it's okay. It's about a mile, a little more than a mile, maybe.
And on horseback, it should be fairly quick.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to ride straight across the moors, but yeah, it'll still be pretty quick. Yeah, it's true. Good point. Can you get a sound check from you, Jen? I haven't heard anything from you yet. Still.
Nope.
Still trying. Okay, she's still working on it. I wonder what's up. Okay. Well, hopefully she didn't want to say anything to Von Zorn before he leaves. So breakfast will finally be served. Coffee will come out. The coffee is okay. It's not as good as it was yesterday. Last night, should I say, whatever. Yesterday evening. But that's because the staff have been under a lot of pressure this morning.
Indeed.
Yeah. So you can have your breakfast with Lady Amanda and Miss Ursula and Lady Josephine. Anything? Of course, Wilhelm has already left, so it's just Ruben and Oscar and Gerard and Alice there at the breakfast. So if there's anything you want to discuss before you finish your breakfast and head out to execute your daily plans, do so now, which seems a bit unfair since Jen still has no microphone. But
exactly. So I'm just going to bypass that and assume that we do pleasantries and move on.
Okay. Well, is anybody going to fill Ruben in, or maybe not? Maybe not until the next till after you leave the house. Fill Ruben in on the events of last night.
Well, he said he was there.
I know he said that, but obviously he wasn't. You guys didn't see him around when all the hubbub was going on at 2 a.m. Maybe he came in later.
Indeed.
Maybe he came in, turned all the dining room chairs upside down at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then went to bed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just being a gentleman and not speaking of his altercations.
That's possible as well too. But
well, I am not there, so I would not. I have a hard time believing he was there anyway, but I leave that to his own discretion. So
okay.
Somehow it would not be something that he would bring up in a conversation of, "Hey, were there any ghosts last night?" So
completely
he'll leave it until something is said.
Mm-hmm. So, are you riding across the moors, or are you riding along the road, Wilhelm?
I'm riding along the road.
Okay, no problem.
I'm keeping an eye open. I know it's early morning, but I'm keeping an eye open. If I see any farmers, I might stop by and have a chat real quick and continue on.
Give me a luck roll, please.
Yeah, he's lucky, right? Hey, I got 11 now.
Ooh.
And I rolled a 17, but I have an 11.
Can't spend luck on a luck roll.
Yep.
It begins to sleet shortly after you take off from Bargrove Hall.
Well, I'm glad I had a horse.
And yeah, it's still cold and foggy as well. So you get a little bit of view of the moors and away from the road, occasionally through the fog. The bleak hills of Dartmoor stretch out around Bargrove for many miles in every direction. Of course, you know. Trees are almost non-existent on the moors, and the open hills, carpeted with heather, gorse, and long grasses, seem to recede forever. Treacherous bogs and the lack of trails obviously would make crossing the moors a very dangerous task, which is probably why you decided to stick to the road. Um, and of course, this is compounded by the difficult weather, especially given the winter. You know, the moors themselves are bare of large vegetation, except for the occasional gnarled, twisted tree, branches bare of leaves, and the only visible residents are morose-looking sheep, wild ponies, and flocks of ravens. The landscape is dotted with the hills known locally as tors. This term properly applies only to the granite outcrops typically found at their peaks, but local custom is also to refer to the entire hill as a tor, and the two meanings are often used interchangeably here. That's a little bit of background information I guess I didn't need to give you, but it's fine. Makes sense. So when you get to Hobbsfield, here we go. Here's something I was looking for. Hobbsfield is 2 miles outside of Bargrove. So that said, I would say that map, that scale needs to be like doubled or a little more even.
Okay.
I knew there were some inconsistencies between the actual scale
It
of the map
is.
and that. 2 miles outside of Bargrove, surrounded by low hawthorn hedges. In one corner of the field stands the stone. It's a gray monolith, 10 feet high, crudely shaped, with no carvings evident on its surface. The grass around the base of the stone is blackened and burnt. Despite the fact, despite the fact that the stone was reportedly pulled down less than 2 weeks ago, it's now standing once again.
Okay. I am going to, before I get off my horse, I'm going to survey the area and one quick look and see if I notice anyone around, any movement whatsoever. Okay.
Nobody around.
Okay. I'm going to dismount my horse.
Okay.
And as soon as I'm going to dismount about 25 yards away from the stone.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at the ground. And do I notice any tracks or anything like that in the ground? Leading to the stone, particularly.
Let's see here. No tracks. Even around, the burnt area of the grass and everything. You don't notice no horse tracks, no animal tracks, nothing.
Okay. I'll start to walk.
Do you have occult?
Yes, I do.
Occult? Roll it.
Yes, I do. I don't have bad occult either. Oh, snap-a-doodles. Oh, shit. I got 31, but I rolled a 38.
Do you want to spend 7 points of luck?
No,
it's probably not really worth it.
No. I got 11 points of luck, so no, I'm not gonna
no worries.
Yeah,
that's fine.
What I do is I walk towards the stone. How tall is the stone?
10 feet.
10 feet. And it's in the shape of a what again?
It's just crudely shaped. It's a monolith, so it's,
Okay. I'm gonna look. Once I get up to it, I'm gonna notice my horse's reaction to see if horses have really good sense, smell, and see if the horse starts to bolt a little bit from anything.
Okay. You have animal handling?
Yes, I do.
Give me a roll, please.
I was a cat man.
Yeah, just checking.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a rough day today. No, I did not make it.
Do you have enough luck to spend? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Woo!
Yay!
Okay.
I don't have enough luck to. No. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, I mean your horse is a little skittish, but
nothing too unusual. Okay, I'm walking up to the burnt spot.
He's probably not too thrilled about the weather.
Yeah, I go meaty the buddy. I walk up to the burnt spot there with the reins in my hand, since there's no place to tie the horse off here.
Mm-hmm.
And I examine where the spot where I think the guy was burnt at.
Yeah, like looking at the stone. Give me a, what do you call this? Give me a spot hidden roll.
I'm good at that. Finally. 30 out of 46.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're looking at it, you think, if he was tied to this and burned, there should be more scorching marks on the stone. But it looks like either the stone wasn't burnt or somebody has gone to some trouble to make sure to clean it up. You can see that, definitely the grass is burnt around the stone.
Mhm.
Stone itself is pretty clean.
Okay, using natural world, can I determine what type of stone this is? Is it granite, marble, or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Roll.
And I have a lot of that. Pretty good. 13 out of 40. That is a hard success.
Now I gotta look to see if it actually says in here what the stone is made of. I think it's granite.
Well, you told me everything I need to know now.
Yep,
so.
it's granite.
Yeah.
Yeah, as to whether or not it matters.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a granite stone. Do I notice any chips or anything unusual on it?
Yeah, I mean, you already made your spot hidden roll, right? So you definitely you can find some traces of blood stains, but again, too, it seems like it's been cleaned largely.
Mhm. And there's no tracks around it or anything like that.
No.
Oh. That's strange. So standing stone.
Well, it's possible that any tracks that may have been there may have been washed out by the weather.
Gotcha.
Who knows how long it's been, since the stone was stood back up.
Okay. And all right. I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm looking at the map. I'm going to check the whole. I'm going to get on the horse and I'm going to ride around the perimeter slowly and just spot hidden until about twice around the perimeter of the field. Then I'm going to head back to the hall.
Okay. Very good. Back at the hall. Now that you have sound, Jen.
Yay.
Yeah. So you guys had breakfast. You weren't going to talk about the night's occurrences, I take it, with Ruben until after you guys leave the house, or?
Mrs. Morrow will at some point say, so you must be a very sound sleeper then.
Typically, I tend to be. Why? What did I miss?
Oh, well, you missed quite a commotion last night. There was the young lady believed that she saw an apparition, and it it roused the entire household, except you.
I see. Well, that must have happened before I made it back to the house. I see. Was there any evidence of such a apparition?
Not that I recall. I was very tired, but not that I recall. We should probably check with Gerard, who was back actually. What didn't he go into town with you?
He did, but he came in a little bit before I did.
All right. Well, at any rate, Gerard and Mr. Bennett, and of course Herr von Zorn were there as well. Perhaps they recall more than I do.
Oh, very well then. Very well.
She gives him the I am falling for none of this bullshit look.
Mr. Bennett, Oscar will say, it was a nightmare, nothing more. Given the rather traumatic events that have occurred recently around this house, the girl has lost her father. It's no surprise that she would have night terrors.
That
Indeed.
does seem like a legitimate potential cause for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As for these chairs being turned upside down sometime in the middle of the night, it would seem to be we have a practical joker in the house. And he looks at you suspiciously, Reuben.
And Reuben will look at him and look over his shoulder and look over the other shoulder.
No.
Yes, perhaps a practical joker. Maybe one of the servants trying to entertain themselves.
Well, that was a delicious breakfast, Lady Allingham. Thank you very much. But my companion and I are going to depart for the town for a while. We should be back for lunch.
While I was in the kitchen, actually,
Yeah, eventually the service did show back up. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to help the cook, since she was empty-handed.
Oh,
Help
good.
her try to make some friends in.
So that's why the coffee's burnt.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. They're happy to accept your help. And James and Gerald will eventually get there too for a quick breakfast. It's a busy day for James especially. And and then it's time to depart basically. So what was the plan? You were going with Oscar to talk to the police, I believe, right?
I'm not sure. It's whatever was decided.
And where was Reuben and Alice going?
I don't know if we decided, but
I don't think we've made plans yet. Actually, I think we're just trying to gather information.
You inquired about purchasing a horse, didn't you?
Indeed. Oh, that's right. He was going to find out if anybody local could provide him a horse so that he could go deal with the gypsies.
Oh,
I see. Okay, cool. Right.
That's where I'm supposed to go with him. That's right. Remember? If I remember right, I was supposed to
He
go.
could play the violin and entertain them.
Go with you? What? Oh, to speak with the gypsies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, right now, I meant for this morning for going into town. Right. So yeah, that's right. Mackenzie was going to take you somewhere to try to buy a horse, and he was going to drop Gerard and Oscar at the police station.
Very good.
Although, wait, no. There is no police station in Bargrove. You have to go to Princetown for the police station. That's right. Okay. So what he'll do is he'll drop you actually off at the farm to buy a horse, and then drive them to Princetown, and then you can, of course, ride from there once you purchased the horse. And Mrs. Morrow has the option of either going with you if she wants to ride with you, or she can stay with the carriage and they go out to Princetown.
I'll stay with the carriage, thank you.
Okay. Cool.
And you have a wonderful day, Miss Morrow. I will catch up with you on the laters.
Excellent. Best of luck with your horse trading.
Thank you.
So, yep, you'll get dropped at a place. Mackenzie would tell you, yeah, I've spoken with Mr. Oh, I need a last name here real quick. Mr. English.
He's a good friend with Mr.
Mr. Ainsley. Sure, why not? He has horses available, so I'll let you take care of that. I presume you have money.
Yes. If it was going to be a sum that was beyond him, he would have secured.
Brought Mrs. Morrow.
No, he would have borrowed it from his rich entertainer magician friend.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so you can negotiate with the farmer there about a horse while they drive to Princetown.
And he will not mention gypsies at all. He was strictly mentioned that he's staying with this particular family, and he's very interested in securing a horse, and try to drop some names and perhaps go in a different direction.
I mean, are you looking to just rent a horse, or are you looking to buy a
No.
horse?
You buy a horse. Yes.
I was to buy a horse.
Yes.
And you plan to take it back to London with you when you're done?
No, I plan to give it to the gypsies as a bribe.
Oh, no. You wouldn't say that, though, to the farmer.
No.
Okay.
Cool. I will simply say that it will be intended to be a gift.
What social skill do you want to use in this interaction to see that you get the best horse available?
Damn it.
To make sure you don't get like kind of a rundown nag or something.
Right? We can't just say that it happens, huh?
Oh, we can, but it's not going to necessarily be a great horse then.
All right. Well, how about
It will be a serviceable horse if you wanted to say it happens.
let's I'm looking for animal handling. I don't see anything for animals. Where would that be?
There's an animal handling skill.
Maybe I'm just not scrolling up. I don't see it.
I thought there was. Wilhelm has it.
On my character sheet, I don't have it, so I'm assuming I didn't put anything into it.
Okay.
So, is it under something else? Maybe.
Everyone has at least 5 points.
Yeah,
5%.
I've got accounting.
It's right under accounting. It's right under accounting if you have it.
Yeah, I don't have it. I have anthropology, accounting, anthropology. So we'll assume.
Are you using a different character sheet or something, Joseph?
No, I'm using the 1890s era investigator, so I have animal handling.
Oh, I've got 1920s.
Right,
oh, you've got the wrong character sheet, John. That's part of the problem. Okay. 1920s. It is the 1890s, unfortunately. So.
Well, he's a modern man.
Yeah.
He's ahead of his time.
Right. Obviously. And he doesn't have very many social skills. So good luck.
Yeah, he does not have. Well, he has lots of social skills, just not at a very high level.
Okay.
So let's go with.
You have 5 points in animal handling automatically. Do you want to use it?
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm going to avoid that. How about we just look at the horses and take a general idea if they look good? Make sure they don't have scabs and various fluids dripping out of various orifices, and just in general, do the horses look like horses should?
Okay, roll natural world or animal handling.
Oh, natural world. Well, he actually has a better chance at natural world. Okay, here we go. I got a 35, and I only have a 30 in natural world. Is it worth it to spend the 5 points? Oh, I have ride. Is animal handling ride?
No, but ride could work. What do you have in ride?
45.
Okay, so you rolled a 35 under 45 for ride. Ride works. Yeah, you can make sure to get like a good young strong horse in.
Fair enough.
No problem.
Very good. He's just a farmer anyway.
Good. You're going to need saddle and all that too?
No, I think that might be insulting.
You're going to ride bareback.
I could walk back with him. No need to stress him out too bad.
Walk back. Oh, in this weather?
It is shitty weather, right?
Mm-hmm. It is shitty weather, and you are a good couple
December.
miles. You're a good couple miles from Bargrove Hall.
Well, then a blanket will do, and he'll just bear
It is
back.
sleeting. Okay.
Well, I deserve it for going out into this weather.
Fair enough.
Hopefully,
Okay.
he wore a jacket to be appropriate for such, and he will make his way back to the domicile.
Meanwhile, Alice, Gerard, and Oscar ride back to Princeton. What's with all the yawning? I don't understand. You guys ride to Princetown with Mackenzie to the police station. There's a 2-room building which serves both as a police station and jail. Although the jail is currently empty. You will meet with a Constable Halifax, Bruce Halifax. What's your credit rating, Alice?
I believe. Let me double check. credit rating is 40.
Good.
Sufficient?
So you'll receive his full attention and cooperation. If not, Oscar would have anyway. But
Yes.
I'd rather have him talk to you than have him just talk to me.
That's fair.
So, yes. What can I do for you, madam?
Well, we're in town assisting in an investigation. We've been our agency has been hired by a local widow whose husband died under how shall we say mysterious circumstances. I don't know if it's mysterious to be burned in the middle of a field, but I assume you know the case that we were speaking of.
Ah, yes. Lady Allingham has hired you.
Yes.
Halifax himself is this red-haired man, fair complexion, wind-burnt from frequent exposure to the Dartmoor weather.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Yes, that is the big case at the moment. Trying to figure out who is responsible for Sir William's murder."
Indeed. And what is there that you can tell me that wasn't in the papers? She says with a winning smile.
Well, he says a lot of people believe it's to do with the Allingham curse,
Mm-hmm.
but
You
I don't
don't?
believe in curses.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the real world. I believe in something that I can see with my own eyes or touch with my own hands. I don't believe in the supernatural hoo-ha.
And so, your
Other
conclusion is?
locals believe that there may be a local responsible for the murder, but I don't believe this either. I suspect there's one of the hired men from outside the district who were contracted to pull down that standing stone.
Mm.
I have not been able to prove this theory yet, but that is the hunch that I'm currently working on.
And why do you think they would do that?
Well, the question as to why remains to be seen. Perhaps they weren't paying well enough or being paid well enough. Perhaps he did something to offend them. I do not know.
Have you spoken with these hired fellows?
A little bit, but I don't want to tip them off to my suspicions yet. I don't want them leaving too abruptly.
Hmm. So what is your next step in this course of action then?
Well, I will continue about my investigation in my own way, Lady Morrow, of course. But if you wish to see any of the official documents,
I would very much so, including any notes from the town doctor who examined him after the after his body was found.
let me get the file for you.
Thank you.
It's dreadful weather, isn't it? I was hoping to be in Bargrove by now, but I don't want to take
Absolutely beastly.
don't want to take my bicycle out in this.
Oh, certainly not. The roads were just dreadful.
Here it is. He hands you a file which has the official death certificate for William Allingham, Sir William Allingham. States the deceased was bound upon the fallen standing stone in Hobbsfield, where his wrists were slashed open with an unrecovered dagger or knife. Even as he bled to death, his stomach was slashed and his entrails dragged out, and a sizable fire was then lit around his dying body. Now, you may roll archaeology, anthropology, or history. If you're good at any of those three things.
I believe where's history?
Gerard, you're there, so you could roll any of those.
I'm very good at history.
Are you very good at history? Excellent.
I am.
Roll.
She says, hoping. And I made it.
Okay.
64 out of 75.
You're reminded of the traditional triple death of the ancient Celts.
Mm-hmm.
The Druids are thought to have sometimes executed people in this manner, although more often the triple death involved strangulation, clubbing, and drowning.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, of course, you have the slashed wrists, the
and the
disembowelment, and the burning.
Burning, right. Well, it seems they definitely wanted him dead then.
Indeed.
Well, Gerard, do you have any questions?
Has there been any other so-called murders, I guess you would say, along these
Any other
lines?
violence or anything?
Yes, something similar maybe to what this was?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any people who follow the old ways, shall we say, in this area?
Well, a lot of the people in this area are superstitious. They hold to their old beliefs.
Anyone in particular who stands out?
No, your typical Bargrove local is a mix of the modern and the ancient, if you will. The locals were obviously quite perturbed about Sir Allingham's decision to pull down that standing stone. However, I think it's a bit too obvious to say that they then murdered him upon that very same stone.
It would have a certain poetic justice, though, wouldn't it?
True, I suppose, if you can consider murder justice. He smiles.
Indeed. If their quarrel with him was the removal of the stone pardon my dramaticism, but for him to be sacrificed upon said stone seems very appropriate to what they would be trying to do. But I am merely a novice at such things.
Well,
and
the people are superstitious and follow a lot of the old beliefs, but you're talking about outright paganism.
Yes, sir, I am.
I don't think there's any of that going on around here.
Very well, then. If anyone would know, I'm sure it would be you. Knowing the town as you do.
Thank you, Mrs. Morrow.
Well, if there's anything that I can do to help, I have some background in history and whatnot. I'm happy to assist in any way that I can. But if there are no other questions, I don't want to be taking up any more of your time.
Oh, well, I was here to serve you, madam, not the other way around. But
so kind.
But yes, if you do find out anything during your private investigation for Lady Allingham, if you'd be so kind as to share any findings with me, I would greatly appreciate that.
Of course.
I'm in the village almost every day. You'd see me on my bicycle. If the weather doesn't clear up in the next hour or two, I suppose I'm going to have to just throw on the raincoat and face it.
Indeed, indeed.
I wish you good fortune.
Why, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
All right. Well, if my companions have no further questions, then I guess we will be moving on.
Cool. Did you have any questions, Gerard? Any more questions or anything?
I think she did a fine job at asking the questions.
Okay.
Ian, is there anything? Did I get what I was going to get with the history roll, or would an occult roll yield anything further?
There is one thing. Maybe go ahead and give me an occult roll.
Okay. I'm not great on this, but
I actually had Joseph roll for this already since he went out to Hobbsfield. But he told you where he was going to, and you've seen it, so you might also pick up on it.
I did not make the roll.
All right. Then no.
Then I guess not.
I guess not.
Could I make an occult roll?
Sure. Go for it.
I have 75.
Oh,
wow. Holy
you
cow.
do it.
That's my major interest, I guess. So. Okay, let's roll.
What was the major interest? I missed it. Sorry.
Occult.
The occult. He's even
Yeah.
more knowledgeable in the occult than he is with his violin.
7 in the call.
Damn.
Ru-
You rolled a
Ruben's
7.
good.
Okay.
Ruben's pretty good with the occult.
Yeah, nobody cares about Ruben, though. He's out fucking horses.
Whoa. Whoa.
Damn.
Whoa.
It's
That's no way to speak about that bartender.
It's a joke for my oh yeah, wow. It's a joke for my Lamentations game because one of the characters is Dutch, and there's a Dutch thing they talk about raising horses. They call it focking, so it's focking the horses. But yeah,
Horse fucker.
yeah. So it's a little throwback to that. I'm looking. God damn, I feel like I'm looking at the wrong adventure or something because I've been flipping back and forth through these pages and I just can't find any of the stuff I was looking for. Here we go. Yeah, you made that occult roll with a vengeance there,
Yeah.
Gerard. So, Hobbs Field could be a reference to Robin Goodfellow, known also as Puck or Hob, who was a fairy immortalized in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yep.
Fairies are also known as hobgoblins in certain parts of Britain, another possible origin of the field's name. Old Hob, however, was also a name for the devil in medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Just share my information with my compatriots there after we leave the office, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yep,
And
Mackenzie's
Mrs.
eager
Morrow face palms and is like, "Of course, Shakespeare. Oh, how did I miss that?"
to.
All right. I don't think that gives us any
As you're kind of
actionable-
leaving and getting into the carriage, you see a boy coming running into the police station, quickly running up and buzzing the door, and you see what was his goddamn name? The policeman, anyway.
that guy.
Open the door. Yeah, open the door, and the boy is excitedly saying, "Sir, there's been a jailbreak from the prison. There's a prisoner on the loose."
What? What happened?
You know, that's funny. It's funny you mentioned that.
Huh?
I was trying to figure a way because I had to go not too long, so I figure I'm going. If you read the notes in the chat, that I'm going to Princetown to get my gunpowder got wet, so I'm going to Princetown to get more new dry.
Nice, cool. Yeah. So there's a convicted murderer has escaped from Dartmoor prison. He's thought to be roaming the area. We want to get the warning out to all the civilians.
Description?
Yeah, he's gives a description. Tall man, strongly built, bit of a thick beard and mustache, wild, curly, salt and pepper hair. Salt and pepper in the beard too, probably, I suppose.
Sounds like about half the people that were at the tavern last night.
Well, it looks like I'm going to take that bicycle ride after all. Thank you, William, he says to the boy, and says, you run along back to the prison now and go about your duties. He says, well, Lady Morrow, you've heard it. There is an escaped murderer on the loose. So do be careful on your way back to Bargrove Hall. There isn't much in the area, so it is quite likely that he will be headed for Bargrove.
You would think Bargrove is opposed to coming into town.
Well, the prison is right here, and as is my station. I think it's more than likely he would go to Bargrove to seek refuge rather than right here under the shadow of the prison itself.
Then we should definitely get out there, get back there as soon as possible. Thank you so much, sir. And we head back to the house.
Okay. So you head back to Bargrove Hall.
Yep.
Wilhelm, you swing by Bargrove Hall and make mention of the fact that your powder is getting wet. And did you have something else in mind too that your character was going to do?
He was just going to go to go into town, back to
Princeton,
Princetown,
try to get some dry powder
and get dry powder. Perhaps if he had time. Depends on how long it takes him. He would either tell him if he's not back by evening, he'll probably be staying there until the morning because the weather is so bad. He doesn't want to,
Fair
go
enough.
bananas. Go bananas.
Did you discover anything on your travels out to the field?
Absolutely nothing. I went out to the field and I give you a full description of what I saw as for the stone.
Okay.
I looked for footprints. I saw it not disturbed. There was some strange burn patterns there, but nothing that obvious, unfortunately.
Strange in what respect?
Doesn't seem like the flame would be enough to burn a whole man.
Interesting.
And I also did a search around the surrounding areas, and I found nothing. But of course, the weather being what it is, it's hard to do any tracking there.
Of course. Yeah, spoke with the local constabulary and got the death certificate for Sir William. And as I believe you know, he was, let's see, his throat was, his throat was slashed, he was eviscerated and burned. And it occurred to me that is at least somewhat like the Celtic stories of the triple death, which not only is is very efficacious in that if you kill someone 3 times, they're definitely going to be dead, but it also has symbolic meaning. And given the place where it occurred at the Standing Stone, it definitely seems to have a mystical quality to it.
You said symbolic. Symbolic of what?
That's a good question. Threes are 3 is very symbolic of a number of things. I'm sure Gerard can probably address this better than I can. He's much more knowledgeable about the occult. But
3 is kind of like a magical number.
Yeah, 3 is a magical number. The Triskelion, some people tie it in with, although this was not the country faith, but in with the Trinity, the triple goddess, any number of things like that. But before I forget, the much more urgent matter is that there is a murderer on the loose who escaped from the jail, and the constable felt that he might be coming out here. So please be careful on the road into town.
Oh, thank you. Yes, from what you're telling me, I'm even more convinced that I need to make sure I'm well prepared.
I agree, absolutely.
Do you think that there's any tie to the Welsh incident here?
Other than, I don't think they're necessarily tied together, but I think that it is not impossible that, given the name of the place where the Standing Stone was Hobbsfield. Hob is in hobgoblin, or which is named for fairies in the vicinity. In particular, mischievous fairies like Robin Goodfellow, also known as Puck, who is also a prankster fairy, if memory serves, which would rather fit with the upended chairs if we were to credit such things as being possible. But given what we saw in Wales, I think we know that such things most assuredly are.
Here's a question. How do you kill such creatures?
I've heard cold forged iron works. I don't know if we've got any of that right handy.
Well, I'll see if I can find some in town. But um, but take care. Take care. You'll leave. I assume you're well armed, everyone.
I am indeed.
Okay. I will be back. If I'm not back by 6 p.m., then I will be back before 7. If I'm not back by then, something went horribly wrong.
Oh dear. Not staying over in town then. You'll be coming back?
If I'm not back by 6, if I can find the powder I'm looking for and I can get back and here before 6, I'll be here. But if it will take me longer, then I'll stay in town.
So I shouldn't assume that you've met with misfortune if you don't come back then.
Not tonight. But if I'm not back by 7 a.m. in the morning, then you can assume something went wrong.
Very well. I shall do so, and I hope that you travel safely, sir.
You know, I hope so too. And you be safe here.
Indeed.
Right. Ruben? Gerard?
Perhaps you
Yes.
should not travel alone.
Oh, perhaps Mr. Bennett would like to go with you, just to make sure that everything. Just another pair of eyes, perhaps.
Actually, that would be an excellent idea. I wanted to speak to Mr. Bennett about a business proposition.
Very good.
Hmm.
Oh, but you're planning to ride. Can ride? Let me see.
I mean,
No.
I can lead his horse. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. I can lead his horse like, when you go to a riding camp or...
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty
You
good
can
at it.
teach him how to ride.
Mhm.
Yes.
No problem. Okay. Cool.
Ready. So I got a boogie. So don't get yourselves killed till I get back.
Very
We'll
good.
try not to.
All right.
See you, Joe.
All right, man. Thanks.
So, lunch is served.
So we have Merrick and Joe to act as meat shields. Got it.
Right.
Well, except for the fact that they're both riding to Princetown now. So, but yes,
Damn it.
I have a question.
sure.
Does this manor or this area of the manor, do they have a stable here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
Okay.
they have. Let me pull up that map again too. Does it show there? Yes, I think number 2 is the stables. So it's pretty sizable stables even. They have the carriage and the and a sleigh as well there.
So there's a possibility they may have a blacksmith on site.
There'd be a blacksmith in the village.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that would be a good place to find iron.
Yep, there's a village blacksmith in Bargrove.
Would it take an occult roll to? I was kind of assuming that someone who was well read in that kind of stuff would have heard about iron being useful against fairies.
I think you mentioned it in the Welsh.
Yeah, I think you're right.
investigation.
That's right, because we talked about horseshoes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know some traditions say it has to be quote unquote cold forged iron, as in iron that is forged without the use of a forge. So I don't know if occult rolls would be necessary to see if that is in accordance with the kind of fairies that we're dealing with.
Well, what kind of fairies are you dealing with?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Good point.
Are you even dealing with fairies? Fairies, ghosts, escaped prisoners.
You're right. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm.
Carry on.
No?
The problem also is that different writers or different legends come out, with different versions of what you got to use, what you don't. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try iron itself. Just basically that might work. I don't know. I want to be prepared. I don't want to get massacred like we almost did there at the farmhouse. So
Ruben's
I'll
making
wait.
his way back in the rain.
You're back at the home, the manor.
He's making his way there, however long he says it takes.
What are you doing?
He's riding his horse back to the manor,
Oh, no. You'd be back by now.
and he
It's
will
lunchtime now.
he will secure his horse and ensure that he's dried out properly.
How's your ride skill, by the way?
45.
Cool. I won't make you roll. That's fine. It's good enough.
And
If you had a poor one, I may make you roll to see how well you did, but
sure.
But no, you're good enough.
He'll make sure the horse is taken care of. He won't leave it to someone else, and find a spot for him, and then head back in.
Ah, so you've acquired a horse.
Indeed, I have. Any more news of the day? Of the mission?
Well, there's a murderer on the loose, so there's that.
Of course
Someone
there
who escaped from was it Dartmoor prison? Is that right?
Correct.
And is a scraggly-looking, tall fellow of ambiguous looks. But the local police felt that for some reason this person might be heading here. So so be aware.
Very good, very good. And besides having a murderer wandering around, does this have something to do with the case? Is that the general gist?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, it's someone who was already in prison, not wanted for this particular murder. But just an added bit of flavor to keep us on our toes.
Very good. And I guess he didn't come in on the iron conversation, so he'll just deal with it if things come up.
Yep.
So while you're having lunch in the kitchen, Gerard, somebody comes and knocks on the kitchen door, actually from outside. And the cook goes and opens the door, and you hear a bit of an exchange going back and forth. Someone basically begging for food.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the cook shouts, and Howard goes up and joins the cook, and also shouts, and they send the person packing, basically, closing the door.
Can I see what the person looked like?
Sure, if you get up and walk over and have a look, you see a dark-skinned boy, looks to be maybe 14, 15 years old, kind of wild eyes, unkempt hair, a little bit sullen, and yeah. In fact, I think I have an image of him here. Let me double check to see if I actually ever saved one. Yeah, it's a stupid picture. I hate this picture, but yeah, there it is. That's apologies to the artist who did that. I'm sure he worked very hard on it, but there you go.
I'm gonna get that lunch. I probably like a sandwich or whatever they had on my plate, and so I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll try to find the boy if he's not too far away.
Oh, give me a spot hidden roll.
Okay. Yes. Just a second here. Everything got rearranged.
All the rest of the servants are still in eating their lunch, and
I rolled a 52, so I don't think I probably got it. But let's see. Oh wow, missed it by 1. So I'll use a luck on that.
okay. Yeah, spend a point, drop a point of luck. Yeah, you eventually you hear a sound actually that kind of over by the stables that you find alarming. And one of the horses complains. And as you kind of walk around to take a look, you see the boy attempting to break into the stables. He's trying to remove the lock from the door.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, nothing. Holding his hands behind his
No,
back.
look. See
No,
right out my hand.
I didn't mean to disturb you. I was just
came
looking
out
for food.
I came out here to give you some food. And what are you doing? You're trying to steal from these people.
I would not steal anything. Just food.
You were trying to break into where the horses were. Now, you're not going to eat oats, I'm sure. So,
He smiles a big bright grin.
What's your-
I'd rather
what's
eat
your-
oats than starve to death in the winter.
well, here, I gave him what's left of my lunch. Start
Thank you,
with this.
sir.
What's your name, young man?
Reuben.
Yeah.
That's his name, Reuben.
Okay. Ah, Reuben. Where you live there, son?
Oh, wherever I lay my head is home.
How old does he look?
My family is currently camped out over by the Dartmoor.
Mm-hmm.
How old does he look? Does he look older than 20 or younger?
No, he's like mid-teens.
Oh,
He's about 14 or 15.
Okay. I'm only 24, so I didn't want to call him son if he was 20. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're camping over there.
Yes.
So, how many people are in your family?
Ooh. Oh, there's lots of us. More than 20.
Are you Romani?
Where the hell are
Are
you?
you there?
Yes, I went with him.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
How did you go with him? You weren't even in the kitchen.
My freaking mic was turned off. I promise you, I've been talking the whole time. No wonder anybody heard me. I was
I
like,
haven't
what
heard
the
a word. No. Unless
Okay.
I knew you were eating lunch in the dining room.
Then I'll
Because you
stay
were in the
back.
dining room and he was in the kitchen. How
Yeah,
would
he
you
said-
have seen it?
He said, I'm grabbing my sandwich. I said, Ruben's going with him. And I was like, why isn't anybody saying anything? I got it.
No. You were in the dining room anyway, so you're
All
not
right.
even aware that he's gone for a walk.
Very good.
So back to back
Yeah.
to
Sure.
so
Are you from this region, this area?
no, more or less, yeah. We travel around. We're nomadic.
Ah. You wouldn't happen to be one of the Romanis, are you?
I am, in fact. My name is Ruben Petalengro.
Ah, very well. Yes. I've been studying. I play a violin, and I've been studying some music from your culture.
Oh, wow! I'd very much like to hear that sometime.
Yeah, I would like to play for you guys one time too, to see if I'm doing it correctly. That means a lot to me if I know I'm doing something right.
I should probably be heading back now. It's about a 2 or 3 hour walk. I walked all morning just to come and get this, he says, showing you the remains of the sandwich that he hasn't quite finished yet.
Would you mind if I got some food together and oh, excuse me, I turned off my mic. Sorry. And would you mind if I got some food together and got my friend, who's the one that was showing me or telling me about the music and helped me practice it, go with you and meet your family?
No, not at all. I'll go over there by the gardens and wait.
Okay, I'll get some kind of food, get a bag of food and bring it. Just give me a few minutes. So I'll go back in and jump and tell Ruben and tell Miss Marlowe what's going on. And I don't know if it would be adequate to invite her to go. I mean, I would if it was okay, but I'm not sure. It's the rules of society.
So what are you gonna say to them? They're in the dining room having lunch with Lady Amanda and.
Okay. I'll pull Ruben aside. I'll say, Master Carmichael, may I have a moment with you, please?
Of course.
and I'll take him out and I'll just explain it to him, and then he can explain it to Miss Marlowe and take it from there.
Miss
Okay.
Morrow, would you like to join us on a gypsy adventure?
Oh goodness. I'm happy to come with you. I think that I'll probably let you do the talking. But I'm happy to come along.
Very well. What's the current weather? Is it still crappy?
Mrs. Morrow, roll your luck, please.
I rolled a 30, and I know that is under my luck. Let me find it.
It's lit up now. It's just misty.
Okay.
It's warmed up a little bit. It's not cold enough to sleet or snow. So yeah, it's just misty.
Mm-hmm.
Does the household have anything particularly seasonal or even exotic, like oranges and that sort of thing?
I'm sure they probably have something. Yeah, sure. They're a wealthy family, wealthy house.
Whatever it is, herbs or a fruit or whatever it is, he's going to try to secure a couple of those to bring along as an added bit of incentive.
Okay.
I have to run up and grab my violin before I take off too.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I'll let Ruben and Miss Marlowe gather the food. Then they'd probably be more apt to give it to them than they would me.
Okay. Cool. No problem. Yeah, I mean the servants won't refuse them anything really. So
I'm grabbing my violin case that has the sawed-off shotgun underneath.
Mhm.
And I hit the compartment. Okay.
Oh, right. You've got a little short sawn-off shotgun in your violin case, yeah?
Hidden underneath.
Cool. It's a really big violin case. No problem.
Now, did we have access to a carriage driver? Did the household have one that we could use?
Yeah, that's Mackenzie.
Yeah, we'd like to secure his services to deliver us and this young man along with the horse.
To the Dartmoor, I could get you close. I wouldn't be able to take you. I can't drive the carriage out across the moors. I have to stick to the roads.
Very well. Well, as close as you could get us, that would be fine. And at that point, Miss Morrow, you can decide if you want to carry on.
Certainly.
If the terrain ends up being too challenging for someone of your status.
I think that I'll be fine.
Very well. Then adventure it is.
I'll lead you guys on over to where he's supposed to be waiting for us at.
Okay, so driving out there, you can drive out there for about 10 minutes. It'll save you a good bit of the foot trek. And then you just walk for maybe another half hour across the moor. So you get there a bit quicker than it would have taken otherwise.
So, young man, tell me about your family.
Oh, what is there to tell? We're gypsies.
When out of character, when Ruben was back dealing with the gypsy informant type person back in where we're from,
London,
I got the name of the gypsy we're going to meet, but I didn't get a name of a gypsy that I was dealing with. Do you have a name I could throw at them to say, well, I was speaking to so-and-so, and they said to speak to Maria?
Sure. You spoke to, hold on.
I'm looking. I don't see anything written on my end.
No, I never gave you one.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if I like this very much, but whatever. Yeah, anyway, you get you get a name. I don't know. I'm looking at a name generator and it's stupid. Really. But yeah, sure, you get a name. It's so and so. Doesn't matter.
All right.
Why can I not get? That's not what I want.
About Rolf
Hold on.
Tregallo.
Sure, that sounds good to me.
Rolf Tregallo told me that the Padalingros were the leaders of the gypsies in this area, the Romani. Is that correct?
Well, I guess yes. That's our family name.
I was actually on my way to speak with, I believe, a Maria.
That's my grandmother.
The Vavode, the elder.
How did you know we were here? We only arrived this morning.
Would you believe a little bird told me? He winks.
Okay, I guess. Thanks for all the food.
Well, of course. Those that have should always share with those who do not.
I like you. You're a good man. What was your name again?
Reuben.
That's my name as well.
I know.
Reuben Pedalengro.
Quite fortuitous, two Reubens meeting up like this.
Yes, out here on the moors of all places. Well, come on, keep up.
I want to play my violin as we're walking.
Well, okay.
Or is that kind of, I don't know, I've never played musical instruments. So
You can
maybe
certainly
it's-
try. It's not easy as you're clambering up these hills and fording small streams, but
It's doable, but
yeah,
with
no,
a violin.
yeah, it probably made me sound terrible. So
Well, no, but I mean, you could do it probably with a performance check, right?
you wouldn't want to slip and fall.
sure, yeah, I'll wait.
Or accidentally step into some quicksand or something.
Why don't you, when he goes to take out his cases, my friend, why don't you wait until we're within sight of the camp, and then therefore to not deplete your mystery.
Also, there is rumored to be an escaped convict out here on the moors somewhere too. Playing the music might just attract them. Just thought.
We should probably mention that there is word of an escaped murderer in the area. So twofold: one, we just want to meet your family, and two, we should warn them to be prepared.
All right. Well, look, we're almost there. See the caravans up ahead. He points towards the Dartmoor, which is a large lake out here in the moors. It's on the map there. You can see it. And you'll see 5 brightly painted caravans parked very close to the lake themselves, contrasting strongly with the lake's blackish waters. They're nearby. There are horses tethered that normally would draw the caravans, cropping the long grass that grows around the lake. Numerous dogs begin barking as you approach. And you can see some people moving about the camp, like looking up, and you see Reuben kind of waving as he walks towards them. You'll see several men kind of step forward a little bit just to the edge of their little camp, looking and fingering clubs or wicked-looking knives on their hips, but just eyeing you suspiciously. But you are with Reuben, so they don't.
Gerard, now would be the time to play.
Very well.
So these folks are all dressed in colorful clothing. They have sashes, beads, glittering jewelry, a very gay, carefree appearance.
Ooh, at 9. Yes.
Okay, and you start playing beautifully. As Peter brings you in, starts introducing you to all of his cousins and such, and giving you names or whatever. This is my namesake, Reuben Carmichael of London. Did you tell them what you were doing? No, just mentioned that you wanted to
meet his grandmother. Correct.
Right. Well, if you want to meet her, we should take you to her caravan. So, is everybody going, or is it just Reuben going to talk with the wise woman? I presume that Gerard is staying out here since he's playing music and trying to endear himself with the gypsies. Yeah.
I would.
So some of them pull out fiddles of their own and start playing along with you and joining in.
Would you like me to come with, Reuben, or not?
I think that the matron may receive me a little more graciously with a woman.
No. Oh. Then happy to.
With no presumption of actual connection, of course.
Of course.
So Reuben himself will take you up to the two of you up to her caravan, and you pull back the flap, and inside you see a diminutive and wrinkled woman with bright eyes. She looks quite ancient, and she says, "Please come in, come in."
Greetings of Avoid Maria. I come bearing gifts without any expectations. And he hands forth a silver piece, a pocket knife, and pulls back the flaps to note the horse right outside the door.
Well, that is very kind of you. What brings you to our camp and to my particular abode?
Rolf Trogallo, a friend of mine in London, said that you may be the one to speak to. We were called out for official reasons to follow up on a murder, which has nothing to do with you or your family. Just coincidentally, these are two isolated incidents. And that particular family apparently has presented some offense, some grievous assault in the past. And we're just doing our due diligence to follow up on it and see if there's any way to resolve it.
You speak of the Allingham family curse. She smiles.
Indeed.
Yes, there is such a curse, and it cannot be lifted until an Allingham man repents of the murder that his ancestor committed all those years ago.
Therein comes to a problem, is that there are no men left. Only a young girl, a widow, and the young girl's being tortured by visions, haunted, as one might say. That's why we were hoping that the family has no males left.
That is very unfortunate for the young girl you speak of, but even more unfortunate for any sons that she may bear.
Is there not that could be done to relieve the curse from this young lady who had no point in the assault?
As I told you, the only way the curse can be lifted is when an Allingham man repents of the murder committed by his ancestor. That is all I can say on the matter, I'm afraid.
Does he have to be a living man?
I was going to say, could we perhaps reach an accord through a seance and reach perhaps the one that actually committed the assault and have him repent?
If you think that you can speak with the dead and cause the dead to speak, perhaps it would be enough.
Well, Reuben does have a high occult, but he has no specific experience in this. Is there any amongst your family and your keep here that have any experience with seances? I have information, but no experience. Again, we speak of, we don't not represent the family. We're strictly looking at for the girl. She is tortured by these hauntings, these visions. And I know it's a small exchange, that the punishment your family's gone through with the murder was most foul.
There is talk, much talk about the abilities of the Romani, our psychic powers, our precognition, our abilities to levitate and travel through our astral projection, invoking curses and blessings, conjuring and channeling spirits, casting illusions. But sadly, most of these are simply legends of superstitious folk and come from non-Romani people. No, if you if you intend to communicate and even perhaps conjure the spirit of the dead, you will have to do so yourself, I'm afraid.
Very well.
What you are employed by this family, yes?
They have employed us strictly to look into the murder. These are secondary. All the rest of this came up afterwards. We're not. They did not employ us to try to dismantle the curse. It was strictly to follow up on the murder, which
see.
Again does not have anything pointing towards you or your family.
Yes, there's nothing I can tell you of the murder. I did not know about it myself until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, I would imagine it does not find any sympathy on your end, which I would assume is correct. I will look into the potential of a seance, and if we may, renew our acquaintance and follow up in the future.
Perhaps. And I thank you for the gifts that you've brought for our family. But now I must ask you to leave. I need rest. I am an old woman. 103 winters I have seen now.
May you see many more, and thank you for your time.
Okay. So if you leave the tent, you'll find Gerard is quite getting along with the locals. He's playing the violin with a group of Romani. There's about 3 other violinists who are all kind of doing like a dueling violins type thing at the moment.
Right.
And there's other Romani sitting around clapping and singing and dancing and laughing and just having a good old time. If you try to estimate how many people are in the camp from what you see, the movement around, you'd see more than 20, less than 30.
Well, Miss Morrow, do
I
any
don't
of
know
your...
that there's anything further we need to do here, but the music is lovely.
Indeed. I appreciate the jovial break, but is there any chance that perhaps in amongst all your readings you read about how to commit to a seance?
I have certainly read about them and the theory. I have not performed a seance as such myself, but we could certainly attempt it.
I'll ask my acquaintance in town. Maybe we can get lucky and there's an elder, a wise woman or something that might have more information before we just randomly throw our luck to the winds.
I mean, I'm certainly familiar. I have attended such things, but not performed them, shall we say.
Indeed. Okay. Well, I guess we will partake of the fun until the fun is no more.
Indeed.
Let Gerard enjoy his moment.
Gerard's becoming a rock star in this area.
Right?
Town.
Hey, you should retire here.
Real popular out in Dartmoor.
maybe there's some good-looking gypsy gals around the camp, or maybe there's
You might even be lucky if a couple of the good-looking gals are actually women.
yeah.
So, yeah, you let Gerard have his fun for a bit. What did you do with Mackenzie, by the way? He dropped you off. Was he to wait for you?
If it wasn't that long, then I would assume that he could hang out. For some reason, he had mentioned walking for hours, so I thought we were going to be gone for a long time.
Yeah, if you just walk from here to Bargrove Hall, it's a good couple of hours.
Gotcha.
You're about a half hour from where you departed Mackenzie now on the road.
Well, we would have asked him to stay behind because of the lady.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
Using the fairer sex as a hammer, as I should.
Right. Roll your luck, Ruben.
Oh, fair enough. Here we go. I've got a 57, and his score is, survey says, a 57. So I just really made whatever you asked me to check.
Cool. So it is still, it's not there's no precipitation. It's cold though, and getting colder, and the sun's going to be going down in about an hour and a half.
Very good. Miss Morrow, would you like my jacket?
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Here you go. Ruben's not completely used to this whole gentlemanly ethics thing. It kind of caught him off guard there.
You weren't expecting her to say yes, thank you.
Right. She's a tough, independent woman. I thought she'd tough it out, but I'll put the jacket. And we'll make our way back when Gerard or Gerard can stay. It is his choice, of course. Perhaps the liaison is in his future.
If they invited me, I may do that, but there's not an invitation from him. I'm not going to try to invite myself.
Well, then don't forget too, you have the opportunity if you wish to make some money tonight playing in Bargrove.
Yes, that's true. Sounds good too.
Okay, so you guys head back, catch up with the grumpy and soaking wet Scottish carriage driver with his grumpy soaking wet horses as well. Yeah. So you've been gone more than an hour. I didn't think you were coming back.
It was a close call. It was a very close call.
Where to next, Master Carmichael?
I do believe some scotch is in order. If I could entice you, sir, to take us to the bar, perhaps you could join us.
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't stop by Bargrove on the way back. Indeed, plenty of time. Yes, come on, we can make it back and still have about an hour worth of light left in the sky if we leave now.
Very good.
All right. Yes, you head back to Bargrove. Back to the, what was it called? The Bull and Bear, I think?
I think it was the Bull and Bear.
Yes, the Bull and Bear.
If I can cite any decent patches of flowers, he will jump off the carriage and grab them en route.
Out here on the moors, no.
Hey,
maybe some thistles.
Flowers grow everywhere.
All right, give me a luck roll. I'm going to look
right.
for an extreme success.
To be fair, heather grows on the moors.
Yes, that's true. There is heather. That's fair.
And lilies.
No.
Yeah, spider lilies. I've actually pulled them from the swamp.
Okay, maybe spider lilies. I thought you meant like lilies.
Okay, I don't think I got it because I got a 38 and I have a 57.
No.
So,
you would need an 11.
Okay, that would be...
Do you want to spend 27 points of luck?
No, heather it is.
Okay. All right.
It's the intent, not the action.
Indeed. Very good. Yep.
You
guys go to Bargrove. Go inside. The town, people are already talking about the gypsy camp. Word has traveled around town. Everybody's already talking about the The gypsies are back. Just in time for Christmas. You know.
Right. Yes, we went out there to investigate. Thought that perhaps they had something to do with the murder most foul of a certain Sir William, but no, they've just arrived. They had
Of
nothing to
course
do
they
with
do.
it.
They have everything to do with it, and everything to do with all of the deaths that the Allingham family has suffered for the last 200 and some years.
Well,
That
they
would
weren't here, so there's that.
I'm sorry?
They weren't here at the time, as I understand it.
Yes, but they're responsible for the curse, which has beset this upon the family for
Ah.
250 years.
true. They may have set the curse, but it was an Allingham that started the curse by killing the gypsy.
A thief is trying to steal horses.
Ah, very true, very true. Well, it seems like it's a circle of death that includes them and the gypsies. And now you find townfolk that must suffer the gypsies' presence.
Indeed,
Might-
everybody will be locking their doors day and night now.
Indeed.
Probably a good idea given that there's a murderer on the loose as well, though.
Yes, of course.
We'll definitely secure the coachman a fine pint as well as a shot, and perhaps something warm to eat if they have it.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
He would have picked the heather perfectly clean and manicured it the best he could.
Okay,
Before he presents it with a wink.
sure. Peggy is, of course, delighted.
He will not pursue anything there, just to let her keep her.
Mackenzie will be watching that exchange with a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
He'll elbow you, Alice, and point.
She nods.
Shut up and drink your beer.
That's no way to speak to a lady, sir.
You're right. I would have told her to down her scotch.
All right. So, and then you head back up to Bargrove Hall.
Before we do, when he finds a moment, if it's not too busy for her, he's going to ask Peg if there is indeed that there was some talk of someone local that could do seances, and he had been interested in such things just on a curiosity sense.
Mm. Let me see. No, well, maybe. I guess. Yeah, sure. There could be somebody. They might have somebody in the town who, is into such a thing. A medium, so they say.
Yes.
God, Bennett's gonna love this. Oh, but he's not home. He's not there, is he? Yeah, there's a woman who likes to perform such things. You could probably secure her services for a fee.
Miss Morrow, Gerard, would you like join me in this excursion to deal with this young lady or old lady?
Certainly. I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Gerard,
So
are you going to stay and make some money, or are you going to come with us?
what time is it right now?
It said it was getting
Oh,
close,
by this
close
point in
to
time,
dark.
it's like after 3.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go with you now. I can always come back later when it's going.
Yeah, so that's till 8 o'clock as far as the gig goes. If you want to do that, so.
Oh, very good. Okay, so we will seek out the lady in question.
Okay, sure. You go to the house, the address that you get from Peggy, knock on the door, and a young man will open the door, kind of a big, burly, country bloke. Looks down at you, Reuben. Well, maybe how tall is Reuben?
He's he's not any particular. I hadn't chosen anything yet. His size is a 60.
Okay. Yeah, he still looks down at you a little bit. Yes.
We are here seeking Madam So-and-so, whatever her name was.
We got to give her a fancy spiritualist name, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let her cut it out.
Zora. Oh, Zora. Madam Zora.
Madame Von Zora? No?
Ooh. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, wasn't Madam Zora the one from Big?
I've never
Oh,
seen
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Madam Zora, when Tom Hanks did the little thing with the fortune-telling machine, it was Madam Zora.
Gotcha. Oh my God. I have to kill the cat.
That is a really interesting name. We are here to see Madam Kill the Cat.
Sure, let's go with Madame Zora. That works for me. Madame Zora, he says. What for?
We wish to speak. He looks over his shoulder and the other shoulder with the dead.
Ma! Ma, there's some people here to see you. Wait here. And he slams the door shut in your face.
Of course.
And then about a minute later, the door opens again, and you see a woman. She's in her later middle age, maybe upper 40s, 50, for the time. I don't know, say 50 plus even. And she's, even as she's kind of there, she's trying to fix her hair a bit, she's wearing like what looks like basically a fancy robe, it's probably a bed robe or something,
Sure.
She says, yes, please come in. Sorry about Harold. He has the manners of an ox. So what can I do for you?
Madam Zora, we've traveled far and wide, and we are seeking one who has the power of being a medium. And we had heard that perhaps it was you that we seek. But then again, you probably already know this. Wink.
Well, you've come to the right place. You have definitely come to the right place.
So, we are staying with the Allinghams, and we are looking into the murder. And on a completely side note, the young daughter is being harrowed by visions. They speak of a haunting. So we were hoping to get you to come to the manor house, perhaps for an evening repast, enjoy a dinner with us, and sit with us, and perhaps commit to a seance. See if there are indeed any ghosts or ghouls or so forth tormenting the poor child.
Well, yes, I could probably. I have to get the team together, but we could probably do something tonight. Say, after dinner, perhaps would be better. Even better, the later at night that we do such a thing. Maybe we should say for 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock it is. And when he goes to shake her hand and give her the little courtesy peck on the hand, he will slide her some coinage and again wink for your troubles.
We haven't discussed the fee.
I'm sure it will be fine.
There you go.
Mrs. Morrow's eyes bug out of her head, and she looks at Reuben like, "Are you high?"
When we get outside, well, Miss Morrow, clearly she had a price in mind anyway, and there was going to be no negotiating about it. So best to let her think that she can ask for this guy.
Very well.
I think that if they end up being charlatans, this perhaps would put them a little more at ease, thinking that we're easy marks and they won't try as hard. But if they're real, then it'll be worth a fee.
I guess we will see.
And if you think about it, Lady Allingham will be really excited to have a real seance performed in her
That's
house.
very true.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. That I didn't think she was going to have a problem with it. The good thing is that at least two of us, have very high occult rolls or occult skills.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, and did we lose our magician?
Yeah, he's with Von Zorn at the moment.
Son of a bitch. That would have been great for him to pick out a charlatan. He would have loved.
Well, it's okay because I think they'll be back before.
Okay. Well, yeah, he would
goes
love
down.
an opportunity to pick apart a charlatan. So
Mhm.
between our occult rolls and his charlatan hunting abilities, and then whatever Miss Morrow brings from her learnedness, I think we could pick them apart if they're not real.
Madame Zora. Her real name's probably like Miriam or something.
Yep.
Clarice Smith.
Yeah. All right, cool. You have secured the spiritualist. She will be at Bargrove Hall with her team at by 9:00, probably a little earlier, so they can set up.
Very good. Are you wanting to call it there? Is that it? Catch everybody up?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you gotta head back to Bargrove Hall from there.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to call it then, since we're short a couple of members at this point. Is there anything else anybody wanted to do?
Is it appropriate to? I know tipping's not a thing in Europe today, much less then. I know servants were servants, but he wanted to make sure that the coachman had a little something extra that I know we appreciated him waiting on us, even though he had to wait on us anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. If you want. I'm sure
tobacco. Some tobacco.
Tipping may not be a big deal, but I mean, I'm sure it's still greatly appreciated. You know.
Sure. Yeah, I'll see about securing him tobacco if he smokes.
Okay. Sure.
Some luxury item that would mean something to him.
Great. No problem. That'll go a long way to amending your relationship with him after having him waiting out in the cold for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Yeah, that was the whole deal.
Excellent.
Although he was expected to wait, I didn't want him to feel that he wasn't appreciated.
You could give him an open tab one night at the bar. He seems to like to drink.
Who doesn't?
It's a hard luck life.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So, let me just mark in my notes. Which book was it? I was working on this one, I think, right? Yeah, it was in this one. We are at December 19th, p.m.
Yep, Friday.
So dinner time, we'll say, and seance at 9 p.m. That's a good time too, because then they can make sure that Lady Ursula's in bed and everything. Cool.
So we'll definitely let the lady of the house know what's going on so that she's not surprised.
Of course, yeah, of course.
She'll be excited.
She'll be excited.
Yeah.
She's thrilled. Awesome. Very good. Well, I will end the recording there. Sorry, it was a short session tonight, but we'll do it again in a couple of weeks' time. Maybe finish it up next time. We'll see.
Sweet.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Peace out, guys.